So here I am, Shannon Kringen, Goddess Kring, and la la la. February 23, 2024. So 02, 23, 24. 0234. Wow. This is one of my new costumey things I got with my animal print. And yeah, I'm mailing this. I'm mailing a CD of my music, Kring Flowers music CD, to Camano Island and to Scottsdale, Arizona. Two women that are art car people like me. I have an art car. I have a Honda Fit with rhinestones on it. These are my music CDs. This is my little postcard that I mail people sometimes. And here is my Kringonian Pizzazz Kring Speak poetry book. 50 original poems. 3 or 4 of them are song lyrics written by my father, Gus Kringen, and then the 46 other ones are poems written by me, Shannon Kringen. And it's even got my headshot on the back, the self-portrait that I took myself to look like a real headshot. And you can see it too well in the camera there, but yeah, I like it. It's a good book. Yeah. I only sold about 3 copies online. I don't know if people are turned off by Amazon as a company or not, but people can get these poetry books directly from me in person, maybe, and I'm giving them to family and friends for free. And so my music, Kring Flowers, music I'm doing with Dave Flowers from Interactive Jack Records. Is it my autism, my neurodiversity, my weirdness? What is it? I handwrote a postcard, yeah, to the people. And I wrote, here's a track list. So I was going to say, I suck at trying to sell my art. I suck at trying to sell my art. Over my lifetime, though, I have sold paintings and hand-painted shoes, and I've been commissioned to do art. I've made money doing acting. I've been hired to perform in live performances. I'm really proud of that. But overall, I suck at making a living with my art. Although I don't really try because I associate making a living with my art with not being able to do art the way I want, because I would have to do it to sell it. So I would have to make it in a way that makes it sell. And then maybe I got trained from being on public access television where you are not allowed to buy or sell anything or market anything. But I did use my show to try to spread my creative expression around and get noticed. And so I succeeded at that. And so it sort of trained me how to make a show every week, because I had it, 28 minutes every week. I had to do a video for 15 years on public access television in Seattle, and I did it. And I enjoyed doing it. No matter what mood I was in, I was just going to do it anyway. But in terms of turning that into a career, that wasn't really an option because public access TV is non-commercial television. And my YouTube channel, I guess I feel comfortable sharing these videos. But the idea, because basically I make a living as an art model, a medical model, a dog walker, a pet sitter, a cat walker, all of that. I take care of animals, dogs and cats, fish, ferrets, guinea pigs, lizards, spider. Even if someone had a spider, I would help take care of the spider. I like spiders. I like all different animals. So any pet I can take care of. I'm really good at that. And I earn money for that. And I earn money as an art model. And I earn money in all these different ways. But the idea of earning money with my art is just, but that's not really true, because I do have 2 subscription websites where I have members, and I have earned money over the years doing that. Mostly, though, what I've done is I share my stuff for free. I share my videos, my photos. I have thousands of photos. I can't remember. Are there 5,000 photos? I can't remember. On my Flickr, there's lots and lots and lots and lots of interesting photos I've taken of landscapes, animals, traveling. I went to Norway, I went to Scotland, I went to England, I went to France, I went to all over the place, Santa Barbara, California, San Francisco, New York City. I take a lot of photos of water droplets, and I've done some really beautiful photos that people have published. I've been published on NPR, KUOW. I've been published onto Bill Moyer's website. I've been published on PBS, uh, BuzzFeed, or whatever. I was proud that one of my self-portraits was published on BuzzFeed. I've been published basically internationally and nationally. A lot of my photography has been published. A photo I took of the politician Shama Shawant got published on the Bill Moyers and the PBS website. I met her and I showed her that, and she's like, "That's a very famous photo of me. I didn't know you took that." And so I'm happy to know her um, in person. And here is the track list of my Kring Flowers CD, which goes with my Kringonian Pizzazz poetry book. Track number 1, Only Child. That's kind of a jazzy hip hop song that Dave Flowers and I did recently with wonderful drumming by Dr. Gilmore. UFO Camera is an acid jazzy kind of song that we did with kind of spacey alien sounding synthesizer. Banana Split is a kind of folk rock song with beautiful organ and piano, inspired by my love for the Tom Petty folk rock sound and literally Tom Petty music. Cancel Culture Vultures is a rock and roll song that Dave Flowers and I did, inspired, I think, partly by some punk rock like Chrissie Hynde and Patti Smith. And I know Patti Smith is not punk rock, but she's a little punkish in a certain way. Um, Cancel Culture Vultures, that's that song and I wrote all the lyrics to these songs. And Dumpster Diving Boots is a song that's a true story about when I threw my hand-painted boots into a dumpster and then I saw them for sale down the street. And it made me realize I needed to value myself and not throw my art in the dumpster. Jazz Mint is a jazzy kind of song. My friend said it's a little cheesy, a little corny, but I love it. It's a jazzy kind of tune. New Year's Revolution is another rock and roll song that Dave Flowers and I did, and it kind of reminds me of Chrissie Hynde. The way I sing in it reminds me of Chrissie Hynde and Patti Smith. Um, Distracted by Reality is in the kind of an electronic spoken word poetry, but it's definitely music. It's got a melody. The Story of Goddess Kring is sort of a rappy kind of song. I'm not really a rapper, or a hip hop person, but it's very rhythmic-y and got lots of do 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 do. Like it's very rhymey, but it's very rhythmic-y and not so much about the melody. Um, Slow Down is a folk song my dad wrote and recorded and sang, and we added on to a cassette that my dad did in 1984, and Dave and I added my voice on singing with my dad, and then Dave added keyboard and synthesizer to kind of fatten up the track. And then 11 Electronic is a song I wrote on the piano when I was 11 years old and never quite finished it. It's a very simple, short, beautiful, melancholy tune that I wrote, and Dave Flowers electrified it and sort of complexified it. I don't know if that's a real word, but I'm going to make up a word called complexify. Dave Flowers complexified it. So I'm really proud and happy about the music that I've created with Dave Flowers from Interactive Jack Records. We would love to get our music played on KEXP. We need to find a DJ on KEXP who's heard of Goddess Kring or who would listen to a sample of our music and play it on KEXP in the in the as a nod to Amanda Palmer and Madonna, the two musicians that I admire, that I don't necessarily go crazy for Amanda Palmer and Madonna's music, although I do like bits and pieces of Madonna's music. I really love the chutzpah that Amanda Palmer and Madonna have in asking for what they want and going for what they want and being clear that they want an audience to listen to them and support them. And you can't really make somebody like your art or your music, but I'm just saying that I want to make my music and my visual art and my photography and just publish it and share it into the world. As far as figuring out how to make money with it, that's not really my forte. And I love to share it though freely. And I've had people say, oh, you should copyright all your photography on Flickr and don't let anybody publish it unless they pay you. The thing is, a lot of people are looking for photos and you can get them for free under Creative Commons. And I've basically had my photos. I get a lot of traffic on my Flickr, partly because I offer my photos that are high quality, interesting, well done photos. That's why they're chosen. I offer them to publish for free, and in exchange for that, I get a hyperlink back to my website, and my name appears on national websites saying photo by Shannon Kringen. So to me, that is like a benefit to offering your stuff free to publish. So there it is. Dave Flowers and I are thinking about performing live around town. We've been invited actually to do music live at one of the venues where I art model that has an art gallery for one of their Friday or Saturday night art openings. Maybe in the summer, we're going to be doing that in 2024. And we're going to be driving to Houston, Texas, from Seattle to Houston, Texas, and we're looking for hosts along the way to host us. Otherwise, we have to find like, budget motels on the way. Maybe I should do a GoFundMe fundraiser for that. The Houston Art Car Club, the Orange, they partly reimburse people who travel for gas expenses. So I am going to get a stipend for part of my gas money to drive from Seattle to Houston and back, because that's 2,300 miles each way. So maybe I'll do a fundraiser and or look for hosts. We have hosts when we're in Houston of other art car people who host us, and I'm going to give people who host me one of my Kringonian Pizzazz poetry books signed by me, as well as a original music CD. Right now it has 11 tracks on it. So this is me just sharing about my current thoughts about, the reason why I got into art modeling is because you can make money as a model, and the artist doesn't always know how to make money with their art or sell their art. But the model always gets paid by the hour or by the gig. And I'm also modeling for somebody right now that is body casting me in plaster. And that's a really fascinating, a challenging experience, because you have to slather yourself with Vaseline and then they put plaster on you, or they wrap you in gauze that's got plaster, and then that hardens up, and then they take it off, and then they start making sculpture, negative mold sculpture, whatever that's called. Interesting process, and I'm getting paid for that. So I'm getting paid to dog walk, pet sit, art model, medical model, standardized patient, role play with nursing and a physician's assistant and medical students, basically. So I'm doing that. I'm getting paid to act for them in that way. So I guess I don't really need to make a living with my art because I have a bunch of other jobs. Although if I could make money with my art, then I would have more time to focus on my art and I would be less tired from all my other jobs. But I do think that when I work with animals, and also volunteer somewhere in nature with plants and animals here near Seattle. And I think all of that work that I do to earn money with actually inspires me. And also I know a whole network of people when I model for them and when I pet sit for them. I know a bunch of animal people and a bunch of art people and a bunch of medical people. So I know a lot of people. That's my social life, is my job and my career as a freelancer. I'm a full-time freelance person, and I have been since 1997. I think is the last time I had a normal job. I was a cashier at Kinko's, which I worked like 2 or 3 days a week though, so I guess it wasn't full time, and then I modeled. I would model for artists Monday through Friday, and then I worked at Kinko's on Saturday and Sunday. So that was the last normal job I had, was 1997. Since then, I've just been a full-time freelance art model, medical model, and then the dog walking and pet sitting is a more recent thing. And then I've had a subscription websites off and on since 2005. I've had websites involving my art modeling and my figure modeling for members only, where I share my art and photos of me for members only. So I do make some money doing that. And then it's like a 1099, got to pay taxes on that. So I don't make tons of money doing that. Most of my income is from art modeling and medical modeling. I've got the W-4s and W-2s and 1099s or whatever. I have like when I do my income tax, I have like 15 different like places that I work and I have to like do my taxes and it's a little complicated, but so there it is. There's me in a nutshell in terms of I've always wanted to be a famous creative person, a famous artist. I drive around in my art car with rhinestones on it and people recognize me and smile at me and say, "Oh, you're the goddess Kring from Public Access, and now you have an art car." And I'm really proud of that. And I'm known for painting shoes for Troy Amos. I'm known for hand painting my shoes. I still want to make a documentary film about the story of Goddess Kring, but I'm a little overwhelmed. Me and my friends are digitizing my over 700 VHS videos and we're in the process of making a documentary. We need to find people to interview who used to watch me on TV and make an interesting documentary about the past, present, and future of Shannon Kringen, Goddess Kring, multimedia artist and experimental human, who is on the autism spectrum, who is neurodiverse, who is, or neurodivergent, as they say, as trendy as that sounds. I have synesthesia. I see shapes when I hear music. My brain works in a certain way. I'm highly sensitive to noise and smell and taste and texture. I like a lot of time to myself. I don't always know how I feel. I think that's called alexithymia. So I'm talking about my autism right now, but um, I'm 55 years old and I'm just making it up and winging it. And my whole life is an improvisational experiment. Living in Seattle, I live by myself in a one-bedroom apartment. My cat passed away over a year ago, so now I partly miss having a pet. I've had a pet my whole life until now, but I pet sit now, so I have a lot of freedom to come and go as I please and take care of other dogs and cats. Right now, I have a dog named Pickles that is staying with me in my apartment, and she's a really sweet dog, and I'm gonna go take her for a walk. And thanks for listening. This is Shannon Kring and Goddess Kring. So that's the recap for today. Gonna mail the CD and the poetry book. And yeah, thanks for tuning in and feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for being here. I'll keep you updated on the Houston Art Car. I will definitely be doing videos and photos from the Houston Art Car Festival and Parade. You can Google that, look it up, and they have over 250,000 or there's 250 art cars, I guess, curated into the show. But they have people from all over the country coming. It's the biggest art car festival, I guess, in the United States, maybe in the world. I don't know. And it's in Houston. It's like about April 10 through 14, 2024. And it's a big event. It attracts over 200,000 people apparently that come to Houston to enjoy the art cars. And there it is. Yeah, I'm happy to be part of it. I got curated and juried in, and I'm one of the art cars of 250 art cars. There it is. I'm the Opal Moonstone Honda Fit with rhinestones all over it. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye for now. Yay.